The Emperor Hadrian decided to rebuild the city as a military camp. After putting down a second revolt in Palestine that took place between 130 and 135, Hadrian decided to rebuild the city. He renamed the city Aelia Capitolina and laid it out in the same grid pattern that marked all Roman camps. He built temples to the gods. The main one was dedicated to Jupiter on the site of the old Jewish temple. He built another temple to Venus nearby. So by the time Helena chose to visit Jerusalem, was a Roman camp town. Constantine and Helena would turn it into a Christian city and pilgrimage site. Helena traveled to Jerusalem, still called Aelia Capitolina, to locate the holy spaces of Christianity. The 5th century historian Socrates Scholasticus wrote that she was looking for the sepulchre of Christ, from which he rose from the dead. She located it under the Temple of Venus that Hadrian had erected over the spot. Christians had venerated the spot for a century after the resurrection, and when Hadrian came to turn the city into a Roman one, he specifically targeted that venerated spot to build a temple. As Socrates wrote, they covered the spot with a mound of earth, erected on it a temple to Venus, and set up her image there, not caring for the memory of the place. The empress had the Temple of Venus excavated and located what she identified as the tomb of Jesus. She ordered the building of a great church to serve as a pilgrimage site, and the Church of the Holy Sepulchre was founded. She named the church the New Jerusalem, the sacred spot on earth, to supplement the heavenly Jerusalem that had represented the longing of early Christians. Now, Christianity was literally grounded in this world in a pattern that Romans could understand. The Church of the Holy Sepulchre is spectacular and still draws many pilgrims and visitors today. There's one chapel in the church called the Chapel of St. Helena in memory of her contribution. There's also graffiti evidence of a pilgrim's visit as early as 330, only 4 years after the tomb's discovery, to show that the tomb immediately drew pious travelers. This is the earliest physical evidence of Christian pilgrimage to the Holy City, and it shows a ship with the inscription Domina Iwimos, or Lord, we went. The grateful pilgrim probably had come a long distance. However, I should say that like so many excavations in Jerusalem, this one is controversial. Some scholars think the image might have been altered a bit when it was cleaned in the 1970s to change its meaning. Those who adhere to this interpretation suggest that the ship may have had a Jewish sailor who came to Jerusalem for a Jewish festival. I prefer the Christian interpretation in part because it signals the beginning of the long tradition of pilgrimage and, sadly, warfare over this ancient grotto.